Hello, just waiting for it to connect, and looks like we are good. Hello, Trev here, and just doing a live Q&A, I guess, or just going through your comments really on heat pumps. So there's been a lot of comments on heat pumps. So before I get stuck into that, I just want to do a little quick update on the channel. Let's have a little look here. So I've released, it's maybe just under a week since the last update, but released a few videos, and big news for me is that we are now at 970 subscribers. So in the last sort of week or so, I've got about 100 new subscribers and only 30 away from the big 1,000, which YouTube kind of keeps going on about, sort of new content creators try and get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed already, please do. And yeah, we might even be realistically make 1,000 subscribers before Christmas, which I didn't expect, but that's really great. So in terms of videos, if I just have a little look at the video content I've put up just before I get into the questions. So yeah, the biggest one, so this is the air source heat pump in the snow. I made a video which went sort of viral, and apologies if it's creating feedback. Let me just play you a little bit and I'll mute my mic. Hello, Trev here. I'm just doing another video on heat pumps, and specifically heat pumps in the snow. So for the last few days it's been very cold in England, and it snowed in Oxfordshire, so it's got down to minus temperatures. And yeah, I just wanted to give an update as to how my heat pump is going. Thank you again for all of the questions. Okay, so as you can see, I've kind of done one in the snow on heat pumps, sort of a kind of a review of the heat pump. And yeah, I won't spoil it. Do have a watch if you've not already. But it got, yeah, so it's currently got 2.6 thousand views, which is lots of views. And it's also got lots of comments, which is great. So it really helps keep the channel interactive. So 52 comments on that video alone, which I'll go through a few. And I have done a kind of a follow-up video for some of the questions and a little update on temperatures, because I'm still learning about heat pumps myself as well, even though I've got one. So I'm not pretending to be an expert, but I do have my own personal experience of one, and I can, you know, show you what's happening with heat pumps. Just quickly to look at the other videos before I get stuck into that. So there's been lots of floods. I did have a quick video of Iffley Lock. This was just before. It has got a lot higher since I made this video a couple of days ago, and it has flooded, sadly, the towpath. That was just before it flooded, but it's still quite high in that video, little POV of that, and also a POV of Rivermead Nature Park, which there's not been massive updates. But actually, let me just go into this, because there is... Unmute it. So, so the other entrance, which I'm not showing, from the southern bypass, and if I fast forward right to the end, so you can see through it, you can see Court Place Gardens. Great to see their solar panels up on their new builds. But this is kind of where... yeah, the new student accommodation is going to open, I believe, in January, and then you're going to get kind of a through route from Rivermead to Iffley Church. Although I did do a couple of videos about that, not quite as open as we first hoped, but we will see, because there's a grand sort of gate that hasn't been put in yet. Apparently that's only going to be used for sort of special occasions, which is sad in a way, because it could be open all the time. That would be our preference, and it is private land, but they have got permissive access. So I'll keep you updated, but that'll be more likely January. At one point they said end of summer, so Feltham Constructions. And yeah, sorry, there's one or two more before I get into questions. Some of them are comments as well, so comments and questions, I should say. The Cowley branch line, that was just kind of a short little video of again the water being high, but that's before the floods, and a little rooftop sunset. Because I'm having building work, and you know, I don't always get to go up onto my roof. But you can see the views and the kind of the sun setting. And yeah, so another video on heat pumps, which is what I'm going to cover now. But yeah, if you've not watched the two videos on heat pumps, then do watch them. That's where most of the content is. But I thought I'd just pick up a few comments. I'm going to do it on this screen. I'm not going to sort of put the comments on your screen, I don't think. Yeah, so if we go back to a couple that I didn't pick up since the video, one of them, yeah, it's interesting, the divisiveness. Some people are very pro heat pumps, some people are very against heat pumps, and the media, and there was an article about it in what was it, the Telegraph, I think, but I'll pick that up. Some people have written some comments about that. Lots of people saying 18 degrees is too cold. I did do slightly the wrong kind of showing my little display, because 18 degrees is certainly not the maximum it can go. It can go well above 18 degrees, but it's what I choose to set my my house to. So Indie Mind says when the installer of the unit he set to run the flow temperature to 55 degrees to heat the house and hot water. It was cold and used to prove it was working. That was the radiator temperature, and heat pump easily achieved. I tested capacity, it was 5 degrees outside and didn't struggle. I've since tested it at -2. Not a good idea to heat radiators to that temperature. It's expensive, and as you stated, slow and steady. I have R32 gas, R290 will reach 70 degrees, but it is less efficient. Yeah, so I'm not saying it can't get really hot. I'm saying that's not the best way to use a heat pump. So some of you kind of grasped that from the videos, and some of you are still kind of, I guess, in a kind of gas boiler type mindset, in terms of like, if it's not super hot, then it doesn't work. But it kind of does work, because it's gradually increasing the temperature of the house. And for me, 18.5 is absolutely hot enough. A few people are saying things, yeah, 18 degrees is way too low, 20 to 22 is the right temperature. So yeah, I've looked stuff up since then, and you know, saying sort of 18 to 21, I think, is the World Health Organization. Obviously, you've got a need someone who's disabled or elderly to have it slightly higher than that, 22, then obviously do have it hotter than that. But a lot of people don't need it that hot. So I don't want to give you the wrong information. That's a bit hot if you're doing 22 for most situations. Indie Mind, I suspect you are right. Mine drifts a couple of degrees higher than the hot water set point. Yeah, so it goes a bit higher or lower. So also in one of the videos, it was doing a Legionella cycle. So occasionally it will go very hot to kill kind of bacterias and stuff. So I didn't explain that in the last video. So just to clarify, that's why it was so much higher than my 55 set. So it was sort of 63 or something, but it was proved it was achieving very hot water, but that's a bit too hot. So 55 is about right. Someone also put 60, you should have it, but 60 for me, yeah. The question, yes, so Stephen Pete 3885, the question, does the heat pump, does the heat pump able to heat hot water to 60 degrees centigrade and room temperature to 21 degrees? And the answer to that is yes. So I'll put a little thumbs up, and I'll put yes, it can. And yeah, do you definitely need hot water set 55? I have mine set to 45. And there's plenty for everything, including showers. Setting it lower will save energy, and there's a better temperature for hand washing. Yes, so you're right. I mean, I could tweak mine lower. I would probably be more preferable to having it slightly lower, because sometimes it is too hot. So I'll have to put some cold, like I think I said on the video, if I'm running a bath, I'll run it with hot, and then I'll have to add some cold because it's too hot. It would scold me, or, well, not quite scold me, but it's too hot for comfort. So yeah, it does depend on your particular circumstances. For example, you might have a small cylinder and a high use house. But if you haven't already considered it, it might be worth looking at. Yeah, so thank you. That's mental lentil EV9JR who suggested that. I think I will look for reducing my water temperature a little bit to save energy and make it a little bit more pleasant to, like you say, wash my hands. I mean, generally when I turn it on, it's running through the cold kind of water first, or it's as you would with a gas heating system. So if it has a kind of, you turn the hot tap on and it's sort of cold to begin with, and then it kind of gets gradually warmer and then it's sort of hot. So in that process, generally, I will have washed my hands, if you see what I mean. And for washing up, it's quite nice to have it a little bit hotter, but it's generally on the hot side. So maybe I'll just lower it a bit, maybe to 50 rather than 55 or something. Again, mental lentil, my heat pump is quieter than my neighbour's boiler, as the Telegraph are the Telegraph going to run a campaign about noisy gas boilers? That's an interesting point. So yeah, the Telegraph have put a kind of slightly biased, shall we say, or misleading thing about neighbours fighting each other in about the noise. But yeah, gas boilers can be just as noisy, and it's often about placement. So if you're looking to have a heat pump installed, then do look about where it can be. Like, I've got a semi-detached house. I couldn't put it on the side as I originally planned because my neighbour has a window. Not that they've complained at all about it, but if it was at the side, it would be indirect. It would be facing a window, and that might create too much noise for them. So think about it. If you've got some garden in the back, you might want it in the garden, and then it's going to probably disturb the least amount of people. Mine ended up being at the front because of the shape of my house, and it's sort of many meters to the road. And obviously road is like different car noises and stuff. So you can hear it if you go up to it, but I don't think you can hear it from any of my neighbour properties, or certainly I've not had any experience of complaints. But yes, the Telegraph, I didn't actually read the article because you got to pay for it, and I don't want to give the Telegraph any of my money, I don't think. But yeah, so I think they came across as quite biased. Those of you who have read it, who I know about, haven't seen it as a very insightful article. Of course not. The fossil fuel industry, like gas boilers, I don't actually have a problem with the noise from my neighbour's gas boiler, just pointing out that it's noisier than my heat pump. Yeah, so most people are quite tolerant. And like I say, the noise, you can choose when your heat pump goes on or off, and those sorts of things, because on a general schedule, like for example, if your neighbours are trying to settle the kids at a certain time or something like that, and it does prove to be a bit problematic, you can change the schedule so it doesn't come on between, I don't know, 6 and 7 or whatever it tends to be, and it comes on at 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever. And it's not a big noise, so it wouldn't really wake someone up. It's certainly, I can sleep through it, and I'm quite a light sleeper, so I was worried about that. But yeah, so there we go. Let's just see if there's any other comments to pick up that I haven't. Thermal imaging cameras are available. Yes, so I mentioned thermal imaging cameras because, well, 2 points really about thinking about heat pumps for a new install is that if your property isn't well insulated, then the heat pump won't work. Hopefully an installer will tell you that. So the best thing to do is to get a survey which will kind of go through all of that and point out any potential costs that might need to happen before you get a heat pump. And really that might cost £100 or something, and that might dictate whether a heat pump is suitable for your property. Certainly don't go right into having a heat pump and then figure out it doesn't work because you haven't got, I don't know, cavity wall insulation or whatever, and then that's going to be that's the wrong route. So have a survey done. But another route is also thermal imaging. So I had thermal imaging because the Rosehill and Iffley low carbon group have a thermal imaging camera, or at least they either have one or they borrow one, and each winter they go round to houses that want to, and they kind of take photos in the dark, kind of the cold, and see where heat is leaking from the house. So you can see particular doors or round windows often, but it could be the cavity wall. So, it could be the wall, it could be you need loft insulation, and it would show that. And Indie Mind again has put, maybe make a video of that because they haven't seen a video of it being used, which I might do. That might be, if people would like to see that video, please do, put a thumbs up, and maybe I'll get hold of one and make one. But also he says you can buy a thermal imaging camera for around £100. I mean, I'm very in favour of like sharing that sort of equipment, because you wouldn't really use it that much, or you might. I mean, you might go on walks and, I don't know, take images of all sorts of things in the dark and seeing the heat come off various things. But generally, you'd only need it for sort of one function, which is to see where the heat is leaking from your house. And yeah, look, if you haven't got a like local kind of community kind of low carbon group, or have a little look for local community groups. And yeah, £100 isn't that much in the context of what it might save you, so it might be worth getting one. And certainly if you've got other people that might benefit as well, you could, you know, share it. That would be quite a good thing to do. But yeah, thermal imaging, so I will have a little ponder about that. And yeah, do comment if you think a video of that would be helpful to see how it works. I think that's all the comments for now. I'm mainly looking at that video. I find the required temperature is lower. 21 degrees now makes the room too warm. Yeah, I can appreciate some people want it hotter than others, and some people it's fine, sort of 21, 20, like for me 18, 19 degrees, that's fine for me. But yeah, I can appreciate some people want it a couple degrees more than that. Anything over the price of a replacement gas boiler needs a payback period. Oh yeah, so I covered that in the video really in terms of payback. But yeah, oh, he hasn't replied. This is Mark. Yeah, if you think your little insulation is saving the planet, well, crack on. Yeah, I don't think it's saving the planet, but I think it's a good initiative. And yeah, if everybody does something towards a greener initiative, then that's a good thing. So it does say, oh yeah, it's not that people are seeking out your channel to make negative comments. It's more that YouTube green agenda algorithm is shoving this stuff under our noses, to be fair. Well, that's interesting, because I've not really had any other, I have not had YouTube shove any green agenda things under my nose. But I mean, it's great in a way that you found this video, and I think talking about heat pumps is topical. Also, yeah, so power and the sort of the price of electricity and stuff. So there was a couple of comments on electric stuff, and I have got solar panels. It's a completely separate big topic really, sort of solar energy and the cost of electricity. And yeah, maybe I'll do another video. So again, put a thumbs up and comment if you'd like a video on electricity or solar energy, that sort of stuff. But there's a lot on the price of energy at the moment, so that's very interesting. So that might be why people are clicking on the video. And like I say, that particular video, or I've done a few on heat pumps now, so they've all got quite a few views, far more than my vlogs or my music creation. Although I've still got House of the Rising Sun, still got 10,000 views. That's my most successful video, I think, and that's not about heat pumps. But yeah, they're topical at the moment, and it is cold, so I guess it's sort of like people want to see before they invest in something like that whether it works, which is perfectly understandable. And yeah, do keep the comments coming. And like I say, I'm connected to a few people with heat pumps, so I can get a bit more of a broader feedback onto how generally people's heat pumps are going, and some experts who I'm in touch with as well to get technical stuff. I'm not that hot on, I'm not that great, but I'll do my best to answer any technical things as well, or pass on, so you can get that. I think that's it for the moment. So yeah, a little digest for the end of November. And yeah, do like I say, click subscribe. Hopefully I can get to 1,000 subscribers before Christmas. Who knows? Never thought that would happen, but yeah. Okay, right, see you soon. There's my Christmas tree there, just waiting to go inside. Yeah. Okay, bye bye.